Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. I've got a very interesting topic for you, and my topic is Uttar Pradesh government has banned halal certified food. Uttar Pradesh government banned the sale of halal certified products with immediate effect and also prohibition on the manufacturer and distributor of halal food in the state. Uttar Pradesh is बेचने का नहीं. Let's talk about it. Let's get right into the show. So, let's first start with the concept of halal. What is halal? Halal is, in Arabic, halal means permissible. Simple terms. Halal means permissible. Number one. Number two is halal food actually means, or halal certified means, that you see there is a certain way that Muslims slaughter the animals, and there are certain animals that Muslims eat. There are certain animals they can eat, there are certain animals they can't. So, a permissible animal slaughtered in a permissible way is what you call as halal. ठीक है ना? So, that's what the definition of halal is. Now, you have companies that gives you halal certification. So, you go to a large chain of fast food joints, certain fast food joints, certain pizza joints, and certain products in your supermarket, in your local supermarket, you will have this certification says halal certified. ठीक है ना? It is halal food. It will be certified. Now, this is the status. Now, Uttar Pradesh government recently banned. They banned it statewide, saying that no, we will not allow anybody to sell halal product. Why did they ban? They banned this for three reasons, predominantly. Reason number one, they said, कौन होता तुम halal certificate देने को? Who are you to give halal certificate? If there is a body that is giving halal certification, who is that body? Who gave you the permission? Who gave you the authority? Under whose authority are you selling halal food? That's number one. Number two, they say that, listen, why are you giving halal certification to things like soap and oil and things of that sort? And vegetarian food and all. Why are you giving halal certification to that? If you are giving halal certification to that, that means you are trying to attract a particular community, which means you are taking advantage over other products to attract that particular community, so that community will not pick up the other product but pick up yours. So that's unfair practice in the trade, isn't it? So they are saying that therefore that they are not allowing. And third is they saying that, Baba, listen, you know what? If when you are going to these people who are giving you certification, you are giving them money obviously for certification. What money how are they putting that money to use? How do we know they are putting their money to use for the right reasons? A, they are unauthorized. B, what are they doing with the money? So these are the three problems that Uttar Pradesh government raised. So they said, what? The answer to which is ban. Ban halal food in totality. ठीक है ना? ठीक है, let's keep that aside. Now let's look at India perspective. Let's look at Indian government perspective. Does Indian government allow or disallow or authorize, not authorize halal food? The Indian government has nothing to say about it. The Indian government doesn't tell you eat halal food. The Indian government doesn't tell you don't eat halal food. The Indian government doesn't tell you, Baba, you can put halal on your pack. The Indian government doesn't tell you, you can't put halal on your pack. Indian government says nothing about it. It is up to the manufacturer, the seller, the marketer and the consumer. Indian government doesn't interfere in it till now. So now the situation is Uttar Pradesh says nahi bechne ka. ठीक है. The first question, answering the first question, who has authorized these people to give halal certification? Chalo, a valid question. Who has authorized these people to give halal certification? Our finance minister, Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman, she said that food certification should be done only by government agencies and not by non-governmental organizations. She says, Baba, it should be done by Food Safety and Standard Authority, FSSAI. That is the one that will certify whether the food is edible, food is good, food is of good quality or not. There should be no other organization. This is what she said while she was specifically answering this Uttar Pradesh ban story. Okay, so that's one end of the story. ठीक है, इसको side में रखते हैं. Now, if you go to Google and search for government approved halal authorities, if you search in the Google, there is a name called Jamaat-e Ulema-e Hind Halal Trust in Delhi, that comes up, that website comes up, and they claim that they are government approved halal certification body. Okay? So that's point number 2. Point number 3 is the Uttar Pradesh government says that they have registered cases in Lucknow against some entities for allegedly exploiting religious sentiments to boost sales by providing halal certificates to customers of a specific religion. According to Uttar Pradesh government, these entities include as the Halal India Private Limited Chennai, the same Jamaate Ulama-e-Hind Halal Trust Delhi, Halal Council of India Mumbai, and Jamaate Ulema Maharashtra, among others. So at one end, this trust says that we are authorized. On the other end, this trust, the government says that they are not. So one wonders what is right, what is wrong. Let us talk about, by using the word halal, is it being unfair? Are you playing with the sentiments of a particular religion, or are you being unfair in your trade practices or in your marketing trade practices? Are you being unfair by putting the word halal? What does the government say? The government says, listen, if you put the word halal in your brand, then possibly a particular group of religious belief will only come to your product and buy your product, because your product there is halal written, and they will not touch the other products because there is no halal written there. Therefore, you get undue advantage of using that word halal. And why should you get that undue advantage in a soap, in perfume, or in oil and all that? Why should you get that undue advantage? So that you are targeting it to one particular community. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. I am asking 2 questions. You can take political advantage by using one community. That's fair. That's okay. That's fine. You can take political advantage. But if you are putting halal in a brand, which I don't necessarily think will give them a huge brand advantage in an open marketplace, because a brand is always bigger, you are saying that they are taking undue advantage. How fair is this debate? The person who makes your law, he can play community, but a soap cannot write halal. How fair is that? Please think and let me know. Please think and let me know. Write down in the comment box below. And as a marketer, let me tell you, again I repeat myself, I don't think by just putting the word halal, that brand will get huge market share and all that. I don't think it is going to happen. I don't think it is going to happen. It is not going to have that kind of impact and all of that. Especially you have a soap and you put halal there. I don't think it is going to have much impact on the sales of that product. They may get a little market advantage. I am not disputing that. But that same market advantage, Godrej once tried when they launched a soap called Ganga. So Godrej tried that. So wasn't that unfair then? So how can that not be unfair and this be unfair? So that's my point number 2. Now my point number 3. I'll tell you one interesting factor before I close my day. Okay, you know what's one of the biggest exporters of meat and even sellers of meat in India? It's a company called Al-Kabir. And I'm sure a lot of you all must have heard about this company, Al-Kabir. You know this Al-Kabir, you know who owns Al-Kabir? Al-Kabir is owned by a gentleman called Satish Sabharwal, Hindu. Al-Kabir owner Satish Sabharwal. You know there's another company called Arabian Exports. You know who owns Arabian Exports? No, huge company, huge meat exporters. You know who owns Arabian Exports? Arabian Exports is owned by Viranath Nagat Kudumle, Vikas Maruti Shinde and Ashok Narang. They're not Muslims. They're from Maharashtra. They're Maharashtrians. Arabian Exports. Okay, MKR Exports. You know who owns MKR Exports? Again, huge meat exporters. Sunny Abbott owns MKR Exports. Not a Muslim. Al-Noor Exports, owned by Sood. AOV Exports, owned by Abhishek Arora. All of these are top meat exporting company. Not a single one, to the best of my knowledge, that I have seen till so far. Standard Frozen Foods Export, owned by Kamal Verma. Pune Product Exports, owned by S. Satish Kumar. None of these companies are owned by a Muslim. So, these companies too get halal certification when they have to export. And these companies too go to these same certification companies to get their halal export. Now, if they don't go to the same certification company and don't get that halal certification, they will not be able to export. So, is the government going to ask them to stop exporting till such time that they finalize on this, or ban halal certification for them also? Because what is good for the geese should be good for the gander. No. So you're banning in India, you're banning in Uttar Pradesh, you should ban exports also. Then you should say certification should not be allowed anywhere. Is that fair? This is the point I want to make. The conclusion to what I want to say is as follows. You see, if it doesn't harm the larger interest of our country, if it doesn't harm the larger interest of our market, if it doesn't harm the larger interest of our economy, you see, putting hindrances, putting laws, creating hindrances for somebody to practice their religion, it's not fair. And it achieves no good. That's the point I wanted to make through this editorial. Till I see you next time, that's tomorrow at 10. Namaskar.